Hello everyone, we're going to go ahead and go over the TekBot 2.0 assembly. This video will cover the actual process of mechanically assembling the system together, not the electrical soldering that is necessary for each of the individual subboards. There is also a document available on the TekBot's website that covers the same information as we're going to discuss here. You might want to consult that document if you have questions after viewing this video. Let's go ahead and go through the parts that are part of a standard TekBot kit. These are the wheels. You may, just as a point of note, there might be some parts in your kit that we will not discuss in this video. If you have additional parts, those parts are optional. They're not part of the standard TekBot build. As the TekBot evolves and the program moves forward, there may or may not be other items that are added to the kit, but these basics will always be in place. You have your two drive motors themselves. Notice in the drive motors, you have one side with a post. This side would face the wheel, and you have a side without a post. This side would face away from the wheel when assembled. You have a little wheel caster. This goes in the back of the robot so that as it drives around, the caster moves in the direction of travel, allowing it to move freely. You're going to have a sensor kit. This is a basic kit that once you solder together and assemble, it's not part of this demo. You would go ahead and mount this on the front of the TekBot, allowing it to detect when it runs into objects. You'll have the TekBot's analog kit. This TekBot's analog kit is a simple analog brain using comparators and adjustable knobs that you can use to program the robot into a simple bump bot system. You're going to have a motor controller board, in this case a .5. This motor controller board has a spot to mount a Teensy 2.0, as well as a spot to mount a Bluetooth connection, and contains the motor driver circuitry for driving the motors in the basic TekBot. You're going to have a breadboard, so something like this one. This is used for prototyping and rapid prototyping. You're going to have two wheel encoder discs. The wheel encoder discs aren't necessarily used most of the time, but if you choose to upgrade and get some wheel encoders to do that work, you'll need the discs themselves to actually do that. Got a battery holder, 4 battery holders. There are 2 versions of this that come in the kits. One of them has the 2 holes way on the extreme edges. The other one will have these 2 mounting holes slightly inset. The frame that we'll show you in a bit will work with both designs. You're going to need some wires for your motor. This is how you get power to your motors to drive them back and forth. You're going to have a little package of extra nuts and bolts and screws. This is what we call our base.3 kit. It's got some standoffs and some mountings for holding the breadboard on, as well as mounting the battery holder and the rear wheel. So you have those. And then finally, or not quite finally, you'll also have a package which probably contains these items. These items are for mounting the motors to the frame. Currently this is under review and this may change. So if you don't have these little aluminum blocks like this, you'll probably instead have some little plastic blocks. If so, please consult the document I mentioned earlier just to understand how those systems go together. It's not very challenging, but it could be confusing without a reference. Finally, the last piece that's guaranteed to be in every set is the actual frame itself. This particular one just has some writing on it from manufacturer. This should come protected on both sides with a piece of plastic. That piece of plastic prevents it from being scratched in packaging. You would want to remove that plastic before using it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this frame. Actually, we'll talk a little bit about this frame in our next video.